Alright, so like I said before, we got our stone wizard right here, so we're going to go ahead and get started with this. Alright, so the first thing you notice in the wizard is obviously your main colors right here. So these are your main colors that you'll be using primarily with the wizard. So these are all the stone colors here. Now we also have an option right here, a drop down right here for you to actually choose the rest of the colors. So I believe this only holds about 32 colors here. Excuse me, 18 colors here. So here's the rest of the colors you'll find in this drop down menu. Now we do have a cool feature in the wizard that actually allows you to edit your stone colors depending on where you purchase it from. We understand not everybody's going to purchase the stones from us. So we give you the option to actually enter in the colors that you guys use or prefer. And as long as you know the RGB color, you can name your color right here. So you can just do TRW, and then we can just change it to whatever we want, 247, 5. See, it's changing the color for you. So there's your red, and then you can just hit add. And now you'll see it down here. Now, if this is a color you're going to use often, you can actually use your arrow key up here to the top and actually move it all the way to the top of your list, like so. Once you have selected that part, then you can just go ahead save. And what's going to happen is your color is going to be right in there. So you're just going to go to TRW, and there it is. So now you got your TRW installed in your wizard for use. Now we also have our stone size feature here. So there's another drop down that's going to give you the option of doing your SS6s, 10s, 16s, 20s, 30s, 34, and so on. Now, of course, we understand that you might not want to use the 0.30 inch setting that we have in there. So you can go to your little edit tab here, and you can change the stone size to whatever you want it to be. So if you use, you can change your variance, fixed size, and then name your stone size here. So similar thing as the colors, makes it very easy for you guys to edit those the stone sizing there. Another cool little feature we have is the shortcut stone replacement right here. And basically what this is, if you hold shift and click on here, it's going to allow you to customize this tab right here. And again, it's just the same number of stones right here. So you enter SS10s. We have our caption, so let's change that to 10 so you know exactly what stones you're using. Hit save, and let's go to our, let's just create a square real quick here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the stone size to 6s so you guys can see exactly what this feature does. And I'm just going to do a hatch fill. And we're going to go ahead and just get rid of our paths here. So right now what we have is 6 SS6 stones. So if I highlight my design, I hit my 10s right here, it actually replaces or resizes that design to the SS10s. So another quick shortcut that makes your life easier when working with the wizard. And again, our main objective with the wizard is making the process of creating a design much easier, but for you guys to get an awesome looking design with a more professional look where the stones are flowing correctly instead of just having a blob of stones in one design. So we have a couple questions here. Our first question is from Mike, and Mike says, can you modify the default stone colors on the left? And yes, you notice when I actually moved the stone there, when I actually moved the stone by doing the up arrow here. So let's just say you have the TRW, which is right here, and let's just go ahead and move that up to the top of the list. So we'll go ahead and move it to the top of the list here. And you'll notice what it does is once I hit my save button and my wizard comes back up, now the TRW is right up here. You see that? So it's the top of the list now. And one way to see the colors also, if you look at the bottom right here, we have a little tab which basically tells you exactly what each feature does for you. So if I don't know what color that is, I go over it, hover over it, and then at the bottom it tells me TRW, so I know that's the font, the color that I just installed onto the wizard. So very quick, very easy to actually customize that left side of the shortcut tab right here with all the colors. All right, and Debbie also has a question. Do you have a scale that is printable so that we can identify the size of our stones? We do have a color chart on the website, and Debbie, if you send us an email later on today after the webinar, we'll be more than happy to send that over to you. Alright, so now you guys notice how we have all our tabs up here. So we have our Stone Wizard tab, we have our Fonts tab here. So here, any font that you have installed in your font library is going to be installed in this section of the wizard. So let's just say you go to the text tool here, and we type out the T. Same thing right here. It's the same basic concept. You have all your fonts here. And you also have them all right here. So it makes things a lot easier, but look, the cool thing about it is it gives you a nice font preview here, so you can see exactly what that font's going to look like without interfering from the actual drop down from the Corel tab. So very easy to see exactly what font you're working with, and you can just browse through. You can also add a font to your favorite, so you have the 3 of 9 barcode right here. you can just add to favorites, and it's going to be up here in your favorites tab ready for you to use at any time. So if you is a font that you're going to use very commonly, just add it to your favorite fonts up here, and you can also just remove it by just hitting remove from favorites tab right there. So it makes it very easy to work with different fonts. If you type out TRW, you'll notice we have all our TrueType fonts here, and it's also compatible with other TrueType fonts from other companies as well. So you don't just have to use this with our fonts, you can actually use them with different fonts as well. So it makes it very easy to work with TrueType fonts, and I can actually make you guys a little design at the end of this as well, so you guys can see kind of how the font tab works as well. Alright, so one of the main tabs we have up here also is our Resize and Replay Stones. So let me show you guys here real quick what these tabs do. So let's just go back to our square. Let's do a hatch fill to the inside, and then we're going to just get rid of these paths. So now what we have here is, you guys notice we have the 0.30 stone size selected, but I want to replace it to, let's just say, SS16. So I'm going to go to my SS16s here, and I'm going to hit my replace, which is basically, this is basically the same thing as your shortcut keys right here, but it's obviously a little bit longer process than if you just go here and click. So that's our replace, and now let me show you what the respace actually resizes the design and according to the stone size. What the replace stones does is actually just resizes the actual stone size, but it doesn't actually change the size of the design. So you notice it's still the same exact size as it was previously. The only thing that changed was the stone size. So if you guys are trying to get a little bit more space in between those stones just by changing the stone size, that's one way to do it right there. Alright, we also have our select by size, select by same color, and select all the same size and same color here. So basically, if you have a couple stones, so here's our drop single stone here feature. So I'm going to just drop a couple stones here, here, and then we'll change our stone size to 16s here. So now what we have is we have several different sizes. So let's just say if you want to just select the same color, we're going to go here, and it's going to select all the same colors. If you want to select the same size, we can do that. Oh, excuse me. We're going to click here, and then just click on this one. Now it's selecting all the same color designs. Now if I change this color, watch what happens here. Oh, sorry, wrong button there. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go select same color. So it only selects those two colors here, and it leaves the blue one on the outside. So you don't select that color as well. Alright, so now we're going to get into our main tabs down here, which is our Magic Vinyl, Templates, MagicWeed, Design Prep, Edit, Place and Fill, Mockups, and Export. So we're going to go first, we're going to start off with the Edit tab. So this is one of the main tabs you're going to be using. Primarily, once you actually place the stones on the design, this is a tab that's going to allow you to actually manipulate the design and make it look more professional. So our first tab we have here, our first feature is the text spacing. Very cool feature that we use quite often to make to customize a lot of our designs. So let's just say you have USA, and we have this in Impact. So we'll go ahead, USA. So we're going to go back to my fonts here. Notice we already have Impact selected. So I can just click on that, and it converts it to the Impact font. So I'm going to go back to my Stone Wizard. And now watch how cool this text spacing feature is. So I'm just going to click on the text spacing, and now what I can do is actually spread these out according to wherever I need, the spacing to be. Or you can actually drag it by using the arrow key here to make it wider or less. See that? Some very cool little feature in there to actually help you customize some of the school names. If you're doing USA and then you're doing a logo on the top. Very useful key for that. And now we have a question from Sean. And Sean says, how would you separate out a 2 or 3 color design, say multi-size, stone size, or zebra font, etc.? And I can actually show you that. Sean, let's go back to our square here. And make sure you guys are asking as many questions as possible. Like I said, we got Dan in the background over here. I don't want him to be too bored, so make sure you guys are asking him questions and make him win his money today. So let's go ahead and do our hatch fill here. Oh, and notice what happens is I have my SS16s selected. So let's go back to the 10s. And then let's do our hatch fill. Alright. And I'm going to select, I'm going to hit shift, and I'm going to clear my paths. So let's just say you have a 3-color design, so we'll change the color of this one. And see how easy it is to change the color of a design by your quick color buttons down here on the side. So it makes it very, very easy to customize a design in a matter of no time. So now we got our 3 colors. I'm going to highlight my design. I'm going to go to my templates here. And I'm just going to create my TRW templates. So what it does is it's going to create 3 different templates, all to the same size.
the size of the template is going to be basically your registration mark. So once you create a design, you're going to be able to layer these 3 colors to be able to make those that 3-color design a lot quicker, and it's going to come out a lot nicer. Did that answer your question, Sean? Yeah, no problem. All right, so now we have our nudge object. So nudge object is basically just another quick feature that just, you know, again, just makes life easier for you guys. So let's type out TRW. We'll expand this, and all it is basically we're going to select our design here, and then you can just nudge these together to the left, to the right. You know, another quick, just easy tool that helps you guys out. Now we have our copy selected here. The copy selected tool we actually use quite often. And you can change this according to, you know, the spacing that you want in between the objects that you're copying. So if you want to just copy, let's just draw a quick line. So let's just go ahead and just draw a quick line for you guys. And again, see the tools we have here? The actual toolbar that's going to come in the 2.09 is going to have a lot of these features in there. So we use the B-spline tool quite often. So we're going to go ahead and use that right now. So I'm just going to go make a straight line for you guys real quick here. Well, a little bit straight line, not so much. So I'm going to go to my place and fill. I'm going to add some stones to this line, and then I'm just going to clear these out. So now we got our line, and we're going to go to our edit tab. So we got our copy selected here, and this is actually the offset that you guys have it at. So let's just say you have it at 0.05, and we just go click down, and it's going to be giving you 0.05 spacing between each copy item. So see how quick you can copy those. You can also go to the right. So it makes it very easy to customize and copy a lot of those designs if you're using multiple rows, or if you do working with anything like that, especially with fonts as well. All right, so we got a question from Debbie, and Debbie says, how do you add stones to USA with each letter in a different color? All right, Debbie, that's actually I can do that for you, no problem. You do want each stone or each letter of the stones? Excuse me, each letter in different stone colors or different vinyl colors? All right, well, she answers that. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the next feature here. So the next feature we have is fill between 2 stones. So very simple concept. We have our 2 stones here. And let's just say we have 1 stone there. And just hold control. We're going to drag this down a little bit. Right click. So what I did there, I just grabbed my stone while holding control, which keeps it in that same path. And I right clicked to duplicate it there. So I'm going to just highlight my designs. I'm going to hit fill between 2 stones, and what that's going to do is just basically fill the area between those 2 stones to make, you know, again, your life easier when working with editing these designs. And Mike has a question. He says, can you text spacing through individual letters of a word? Yeah, if you separate and you break it apart, then you would be able to separate those words apart, yes. So like that, like where you have the A right there in the middle, Mike, you would have to actually break the curve apart in order to do something like that. Otherwise, you would just every letter would be kind of spaced in appropriately. So it would be the S, the P, the A, and the C and the E would all be spaced out correctly. All right. So next option we have, or excuse me, next feature we have here is the magic trap. The magic trap is basically something we use quite often, actually, especially now that we started working with a lot more of multi-decoration designs, where we're layering the heat transfer vinyl. So basically what the concept is, you can't layer glitter with glitter. So we created the magic trap, which basically gives you an overlap, and that overlap allows both colors of the glitter vinyl to go directly on the garment. So what this is going to do is once you wash it a few times, it's going to prevent the material to peel in the corners because it's not actually layered. And if you guys have worked with glitter vinyl before, you know it's very kind of sandpaperish material, so it's kind of the texture is very rough. So if you put it directly on the garment, it takes away any of the concerns of the vinyl peeling or anything like that. So let me show you how that works. So let's just type out, again, USA. And you'll see here, and again, if you purchased any of our fonts before, any of our vinyl fonts before, you'll notice that this is exactly how we create them. So the magic trap's already installed in there, ready for you guys to use. So you guys don't even have to worry about that if you guys purchase some of the fonts that we have listed on the website, like I believe it was the zebra font that we listed last week. So I'm going to go back here, I'm going to go to my impact, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to and now this is something I'm going to go over in a little bit here, the place and fill tab. But I'm just going to create an island fill to the outside.
And I'm not going to add stones. Let's just do let's do 0.09. And I'm just going to create an outline for it. So now we got an outline here. And let's just fill this outline. We'll make it blue. So right now, if you're using Easyweed, this would not be an issue. But because we're going to say that we're going to do something with glitter, first we're going to have to simplify and then create that overlap. So before, it was about a 5-step process, and it took several minutes to actually create a magic trap. So what we went ahead and did is just made it a 1-button feature where we're just going to go edit, magic trap, and that's going to do it for you. So now it's simplified, and if I go to my view wireframe tab up here, what we have is actually a third layer in there now, and that's your overlap. So that's what's going to allow you to put that garment directly to your, your material directly to your garment. So very, very cool feature, and it makes, I mean, right now it doesn't seem like much because obviously, you know, it's just a one quick feature. But once you're actually working with the material, and you're going to see the difference between actually layering it and putting it directly to your garment. So it's a big, big difference, and it's going to definitely make your customers a lot happier when you're doing it this way. And we do have some questions coming in. And we have, okay, Dan, does the wizard and Corel Draw work with a silhouette? Now, it is a separate software, but the silhouette does have a kind of a macro for Corel Draw. Let me see if I have it here, which I don't. But basically what it is a connect. It's called a connect, and it just allows you to cut directly from Corel. So what it does is just basically you create a design, hit your connect code, and it sends it right to your designer edition software where you're going to be able to cut your design out of with your Cameo. All right, Suzanne says, I love that. I just learned to do that on Silhouette, and this step is much faster for Magic Trap. Yeah, and Stan, I mean, there's softwares out there that will be able to do this in multiple steps. We just want to make it easy for you guys, so that way you guys can go on to making actually the finished product and you know, get that order out to your customers as soon as possible. So again, just very quick features that we added in there to make your life easier. All right, so now let's just say we have. Let's go ahead and go down the list here. So we have our select all between two stones. So what that is basically, let's just say we have a couple stones here, and then we'll have one here, and then let's just do between two stones. And now say I select this one, and all I'm going to do is select between all, and it's going to select all those stones in between those two separate stones. So again, just another quick feature that makes your life easier. All right, now we have another question here from Tammy. And she says, if you want to place weeding boxes around a design and you have 3 images with 4 colors, how do you put 2 images with same color in one box? Example, you peace love volleyball. I want to peace sign an outline of the volleyball in one color. When I do it, it gives me 4 boxes instead of 3. Hey, Tammy, give us a call after the webinar. We'll look into that for you, all right? Sounds like there might be just something wrong in the steps there. And then if you can go on your computer and sign on, then we'll be able to help you out with that issue, all right? All right, Nita's got another question. She said, you spaced out all the letters at once. Can you space between just 2 letters? And that's what actually was asked by Mike earlier. With that, you would have to break the curve apart, and then you'd be able to separate those letters. How much? And then we got another question. How much is the wizard, and can I purchase Corel Draw with you all? Yes, we actually do sell the bundle pack for the X6 and the X7. And we also, the Stone Wizard alone is $279.99. Now, you do need Corel Draw, so you would need the bundle. If you don't have Corel Draw X5, X6, or X7, you would need the bundle pack with it, which I believe runs in the $600 range for the X7 and the $500 range for the X5, or excuse me, X6, but I could be wrong on that. All right, so moving on. So now we have our 2-color magic text. 2-color magic text is a very, very cool feature in the Wizard when working with TrueType fonts. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and type out a 2-color TrueType font here. So I'm going to do TRW. May just make it just a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And I'm going to go to my fonts here, and let's just go ahead and choose TRW and see what kind of fonts we have in here. So we have, all right, so we have a 2-color zebra font. So let's go ahead and use that. So as you can see right now, we only have it looks like the outline of the design here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my Stone Wizard, I'm going to go to my Edit tab, and now you see the 2-color magic. Well, that's basically going to do is just add the 2nd color to it. So now we have our 2-color design, and all we have to do from there is resize it like so. And now you have a cool custom 2-color zebra font created, ready for cutting. So from here, you just go templates, create your TRW magic templates, and now you have your 2 templates ready to send to your cutter. So very quick feature to help you guys out in the process of customizing names, school names, you know, for you guys that use the TrueType fonts, it's a very, very useful tool. Alright, now we have the to front to back. It's another feature that Corel has, but we just decided to install it into the wizard just to make the process a little bit quicker for you guys. So let's just say you have a couple little designs here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to color this one blue, and we'll just do this one in red. So if you want this design to be the front of the page to kind of overlap the blue, then we're just going to go to the front. And same with the blue, if you want to send it to the, or excuse me, if the red you want to send to the back, you can just hit back. So there you go, that quick. Just another quick little feature for you guys that's going to help you guys out. Alright, so now we have our magic sections. The magic sections are a pretty cool feature here that not a lot of people know about, but we actually use it quite often here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and draw a couple squares here, and you'll see what I'm doing here in a second. And then I'm going to just duplicate this a few times. So we're going to go back here. So I'm going to copy selected, 0.1. And again, see how quick it is to use that copy selected tool? Just makes life a little bit easier for you guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys how we're going to place stones on this path. And I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do it. So we're going to go add stone selected path on this one. So this one I'm not going to do corner detect or anything. I'm just basically going to do add stones to the selected path. Oh, got to select the path first, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and select the path. And now we have a lot of areas where the stones are kind of overlapping and touching, which is not what we want. For the second one, I'm going to do corner detect, which is going to detect all the corners. But watch what happens here. Right here, in the path where that's actually intersecting, it's still touching, it's still overlapping. So now if I use my magic sections here, watch how cool this is. So I'm going to select my design, I'm going to hit magic sections. And now watch what that did. It actually separated all the different areas. So what that's going to allow it to do when I hit my magic, or excuse me, my place or add stone selected path, it's going to make that a lot cleaner. So now we have a couple stones touching here, but see how the intersection points are actually clean. All the corners are clean. So it makes the design a lot cleaner when you're actually placing the stones. So again, with the magic sections it's not a feature that a lot of people know about, but it's very, very useful, especially if you're working with custom. Let's say you have LR and they're kind of one on top of the other. The magic sections is really useful for that type of design. Alright, so next tab we have is our place and fill. So place and fill, really cool tab. This is where you're basically going to add all the stones to your selected paths. So we have our island fill, we have our space, fill line spacing, contour line, which is basically just if you're creating a border. Then you have your island fill, offset, and hatch fill. So let me show you a little bit the difference between the island fill and the hatch fill. Oh, and Debbie has a great question. She said, how do you get rid of the overlapping stones? Perfect, Debbie. Let me go ahead and show you guys that real quick here. So let's just say we're going to go back to our square. We're going to do inside. We're going to add stones. We're going to make this 0. So I'm going to add the stones to my paths here. And I'm just going to get rid of these. So let's just say you have a few stones that are kind of overlapping here. So let's just say we highlight that area. If you go down here to our tabs, we have mark the top layer, mark the bottom layer, or you have merge overlaps. So I'm going to hit merge overlaps, and you see that. It just merged all those stones that were touching or overlapping and merge them together. So that's how you would get those overlapping stones into one. Alright, so we're going to do an island fill here, and I'm going to show you guys the hatch fill. So let's go ahead and duplicate the circle here, and then we're going to create a square, and we'll duplicate that as well. So now what we have here is our hatch fill. So we're going to do a hatch fill first, and notice how the hatch fill kind of gives you that more of a horizontal lines, whereas if I do a island fill in a square, it doesn't give you nearly as quite a good of a design because it's actually following the islands it's creating islands for you. So it's not as neat when you're creating it with a more of a box design. So let's say we have our circle here. We're going to go to island fill, and now notice how nice a circle will come out if you do an island fill, whereas if you do the hatch fill, not so pretty. You see that because it created those horizontals, so not as convenient to use for the circles. And that's the biggest difference between the island fill and the hatch fill here. Now we got islands is basically, let's just say we have a design here and we want to create a couple islands to the outside. So we're going to do island fill to the outside, and again, this is going to create some outlines for it. And we'll do 0.09. and then we're just going to hit islands, and notice how I just created some islands for you real quick there. So you can go ahead and actually add the stones to these, or you can just basically change the color to a vinyl design. See, that's a really quick way to make some outlines on a design. So if you're typing out, if you have a word you want to put a border around with rhinestones, this is the way to do it. And I can actually show you guys that here at the end of the webinar. Alright, so we have a corner detect, which I showed you guys earlier. The add stone selected path is basically if you have a path created. So I'm going to change up the design a little bit here. So let's just say you have a heart created. All the add stone selected path is going to do is just add the stones to that selected path. See that? So it doesn't fill it, doesn't do anything other than just adds it to a path that you have selected. Alright, and Debbie has another question. She said, are those outline fills in mm or inches? Now these are actually in inches. The software is actually coded in inches, so it's not actually available in millimeters yet. Alright, so another cool feature we have here is our effects down here. So let's just create a cool little effect design with that feature here. So I'm going to go to my heart design again. I'm just going to make this let's make it about 4. And we'll do about 11. And we'll do a decrease count by 10 and fade by 0.02. And watch what this does. Oh. Let me, give me a second here. Got to select my design first, don't I? Alright, so we're going to do 10, 9, and 0.02 here. And now what that created was basically a cool effect design where it's just, because I used decrease count by, so each line here, each island, basically decreased the count of stones by 9. So that's what gives it that cool looking kind of explosion looking design. And if you actually clear the paths, that's what you have left over. So really cool design here, which you can actually go in and change the colors to and just give it another more of a wow factor to that design. And of course, what I did there, I held shift when I clear the paths. So let me show you something here. So if I just clear paths without holding shift, oh, there it is. So we have, like I said, a cool looking design here, which you can actually use a multi-deck. So you can, if you wanted to leave the heart in the middle, you can leave the heart in the middle, and that's going to give you a multi-deck design with maybe a cool looking holographic look to it, or magic vinyl look to it with a glitter vinyl. So another cool little feature in there that not a lot of people use very often, but kind of gives the design a lot more of a cool look to it. Alright, so now we have reached our templates tab. So the templates, we have a few different templates here. And now I'm not going to go over the TRW overcut here or the create TRW overcut because these are new features in the 2.09. So I'm not going to go over those yet, but what we have installed in the 2.08 that you guys will see is the create TRW magic templates, the 2+ magic cut templates, or the 2+ magic cuts. So for the TRW magic templates is basically if your cutter gives you the option to do a 2-cut rotation, this is the one you would use. So it's just going to basically separate your designs for you. So we're going to go back here. And then we're going to go to our place and fill. So I'm just going to change this back to 0. I'm going to do to the inside. And we're going to change all this around to 0 and 0. So I'm just going to do my hatch fill again. And I'm going to highlight and get rid of those paths. So let's just say right now you have this design in 2 colors. Like I showed you guys earlier, I'm going to just highlight it. I'm going to go to my templates tab and create TRW magic templates. So there you go. So this would be what you send to your cutter, and then you would select in your cutter the 2-cut rotation. Now if you don't have that option, what you would do in that case is, let me go ahead and copy this down one. I will go ahead and do my create 2+ magic cut templates, which is basically going to give you, it's going to trick your cutter to basically give another roundabout. So it's going to give you a much cleaner cut when cutting these designs out, and it's going to give you the ability to actually get the stones a lot closer together because it's going to give you a much cleaner cut, and it's going to go around twice the circle. So again, it's going to benefit, the template's going to be a lot easier to weed when you finally cut it. And let's say you have a design that you purchased from us and you don't have the option for the 2+ cut rotation. And this is what you see when you first open our designs. All you have to do is highlight it, highlight your templates here, and do your 2+ magic cuts, which is basically going to convert those circles in there into a 2+ magic cut. So the 3 different options of cutting a template out. Again, making your life easier. The 2-cut rotation is a very good tool to use just because it's going to make the weeding and the cutting a lot nicer. Another cool little feature we have down here, if I go back to my place and fill that I forgot to mention earlier, is our single line. So our single line, I'm going to bring over a cowboy hat here. And this is a JPEG image. Now I'll show you the 2 ways you can create an outline for this. So 2 ways to do it. You can do a single line. If you just left click, what's going to do is just going to run through the design. It's going to make a single line outline for it. So I'm going to go ahead. Okay, so now that, just trace that design. See that? And then you can just go ahead and place your stones to that design there. So I'm going to go ahead and get my hat here. Oop, forgot a little part there. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to add stones. So you see right there, that's one way to do it. Or you can highlight your design, and if I right click, it actually does that all for me without me having to replace the stones or anything like that. So basically I right clicked it and it adds the stones directly to it. You see that? It's a very quick way to do a quick outline of a JPEG design with that single line tool. And Elaine asks, are all your designs single cut? And yes, they are, Elaine. They're all single cut designs. When you first receive them, they're all single cut, so you would have to convert it to the 2+ magic cut. All right, which one did you need to see? The hat, Elaine? The hat? Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and bring that hat back in, and I'll show you what we did. So all I did, if I left click on the single line, it's just going to create an outline of it, where you can actually go from there and manipulate that design. Or if I right clicked it, it just basically added the stones and created that outline for it. And actually, Tara, we actually have a webinar already how we fill the design like this out. Now that's a little bit more of a complex thing to do, so if in that case, I would refer you to that. Shoot me an email, and I can show you that. I can send you that video over. I believe it was a paid webinar that we did where we actually created a full design out of a JPEG image, and I believe it was a hat that we created. But yeah, shoot me an email. I'll be able to send that over to you. All right. Again, I just want to keep it as simple as possible. There's a lot of people that haven't used the wizard before, so I don't want to get too complex right off the bat. All right, next feature that we have that's a really, really cool feature is our magic vinyl. So here we have our magic vinyl feature. So I'm going to bring another cool design that we've created in the past here, which is our Love Football. So as you can see, we have our Love Football design here. You have our football color, and then we have the love in a different color. So let's just say you want to create a mock-up. So, and that's what I'm going to get to eventually, right now, is the mock-up feature. So let's just say you have the inside of the ball, and you want to give it more of a realistic look to it. What we have is this feature here, the magic vinyl feature. So what this allows you is basically to send your customer a finished product look design where they can agree or disagree on it. So basically, you don't have to send them something and then say, hey, imagine this is this color, imagine this is this color. What our magic vinyl tab and our mockups tab is going to do for you is basically give that customer a realistic look of what the design is going to look like as the finished product on a t-shirt with a proof sheet underneath. And let's go ahead and show you how that works. So we have all our magic vinyl colors here. So all our glitter colors that we offer from Siser, we have taken a picture and installed on our wizard right here. We also have all our neon colors here, our brand new neon colors that we just started carrying a couple months back. Really, really popular colors here. We also have our holographics, and we also have our fashion. So we have all our chemical vinyl here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the football leather for the middle of this design. So if I zoom in, you notice it has that cool texture to it, which if you guys never worked with the football leather material before, is really, really cool material. It actually has that true football leather feel to it. All right, and then we also have our electric colors here. So electric is really cool for a lot of the guys here who like to use electric when they're making their own shirts. Just it gives it a manlier look to the design, but still gives it a cool kind of a shiny finished look to it. All right, so let's go ahead and make the LVE. We'll make that in our white. So now we have Love Football with our realistic look design, or realistic vinyl look to it. I'm going to highlight my design here. I'm going to go to my mockups, And now the mockup feature, you'll see a lot of different things. So you got 3 different options here. You can do just your mockup on a black shirt, or excuse me, on a black background. You can do it with a shirt, or you can do it with a shirt, and you can do it with the black background as well. So, but today I just want to go ahead and put it on a shirt for you guys, so you guys can see how cool it looks. The finished product is going to look on a finished shirt. So as you see down here, we have our women's scoop neck, we have our V-neck, we have our long sleeve shirt, and then we also have our dry fit. So different options here, which we're actually working on creating a whole bunch more. I don't know if you guys saw a couple of the suggestion lists we had a few weeks back, where basically we asked you guys to send in as many recommendations as you guys wanted for different mock-up options for the wizard. Now you guys can customize your mock-up. We have a custom tab right here, which is basically going to allow you to install your own mock-up shirt in there. The only difference is you will not be able to change the actual color of the shirt, but we do have a webinar and a couple of videos that will show you the process of creating your own custom mock-up. And also we have the accessories here. We got the card decal, we have the tote bag, so a lot of the blank items here. We have your drawstring bag, cotton keychain, and the koozie. So cool little features, you know, just to kind of make it more fun when you're creating those mock-ups, and again, make it look more realistic. And we also have the youth shirts and the men's shirts here. So let's go ahead and put this design on a shirt. So let's make this just a little bit smaller, and then we'll go ahead and do, so right now I'm just going to do a single shirt to the front. And so I'm going to select single shirt to the front only. I'm going to go ahead and choose my women's scoop neck, and I'm just going to go ahead and select that. And then notice I added my logo, which is going to add my logo right there to the bottom of the design. So now we have our design, which is proportionate to the shirt. That's just the way we have the wizard set. So no matter what the size of the design, it's going to make it proportionate to the shirt. So next step is you can actually change the color here. So you can actually change the color. You can actually see kind of the wrinkles in the shirt. Again, just gives that design more of a realistic look to it. And you can also change the background of the mock-up to kind of give it more of, make the design and the shirt stand out a lot more. So we have a couple questions coming in here. Anita says, where can I go to find information on the terminology such as island fill, hatch fill, clear the path? Actually, I'm glad you asked that question, Anita. It's going to be a little bit, I was going to actually talk about the video tutorials tab in a little bit here, but I can go over that right now. So let's just say you are in your place and fill tab, and you don't know what islands does for you. Well, no problem. We actually have created a video for every tutorial, a tutorial video for every feature on the wizard. So basically, if you don't know what a feature does, you can just click our video tutorials tab up here, go to your place fill, and click on your islands, which is basically going to take you to our YouTube channel, which is coming up on the other side over here, which you guys can't see. But it takes you to our YouTube channel, and you're going to be able to watch that feature and exactly how that feature works and what the best way to use that feature is. And you guys can hear it right there, can't you? So let's go ahead and just get rid of this here. So there you go. So that was the video right there that allows you guys to kind of understand the features a lot better. You know, we are actually working on a cheat sheet right now as well. I know we've got a lot of people that love the videos, but there's a lot of people, old school people, that still like to read and see, kind of visualize exactly what that feature does by reading it. So we're working on something like that as well. All right, so we have other questions coming in. We have, is there a way to see the actual size of the design by height and width? And yes, Debbie, there is. Actually, I was getting to that right now for you. So let's go back and let me go ahead and get my baseball mom design here. So we have a rhinestone design created here. And I'm going to show you another cool feature that the wizard has as well. So we have our design here. I'm going to go ahead and ungroup my colors. So if I highlight my design, let's just say if I have another design right here. So let's just say we have the mom, or we'll have this M here down here. And that's black, and the inside and the mom is black. But you don't want to just do select all same color if you want to change the inside of this and leave this one in black. So what we have a feature for is our design prep here, which basically is going to process the design that you have highlighted by colors. So if I go process by colors, it's going to actually allow me to change the colors of that design. So see that? It actually changed that to red, or you can change it to blue, or, you know, aqua, whichever color you want to change it to. So it makes it very easy, and you can tell that the M down here didn't change colors. So that's a very, very useful feature if you have multiple designs on a page and you're trying to change the color of just one of the designs. All right. And then we got another question from Gia. It says, when you use your mockup and use your watermark, how do you get it behind after? Actually, Gia, I'll show you real quick what an easier way to do it. You can actually just let the trait, or excuse me, the watermark kind of just put that at last. Just kind of place it there. Last thing you do is just actually add the watermark, and that way you can actually work with the shirt colors. You can change the shirt colors, the background, or the description if you need to change the description in there. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and change this color here. Let me change the colors here to change it to white. Oh, let's go ahead and process this again by color. Oh, let's go design prep, process by color. All right, so let's go ahead and change this to white. And now we're gonna go ahead and create a mockup for you guys here. So let's just say we have, I'm gonna make my workspace bigger too, just so I can actually show you guys here what I'm gonna do. So let's just say somebody calls you and they want the baseball mom design with their kid's number on the back. So you want to send them a mock-up with not only the design on the front of the shirt, but you also want to send them what the back of the shirt is going to look like with their name and logo. So let's just type out, let's go ahead and do TRW. Actually, we'll do Marredo, which is my last name. And we'll just make that just a little bit bigger here. We're going to go ahead and choose our impact font. All right. And you know what, let's go ahead and just spread those out just a tad bit. So again, you can use your text spacing to get these a little bit spread more. And all right, so we have it at about 9.8, so we'll just leave it at that for now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just copy select it to the bottom. I'm just gonna click this and we'll just do 7. And then watch this, if I go back to my pick tool and I select my last name, and I just hit C, it centers it correctly. So you see that, so now you got the last name with the 7 on there. And now let's go ahead and just change that to let's go ahead and change it just to royal blue. So now we have the front of the design, the shirt is going to be your rhinestone file with the baseball mom. In the back, you just wanted to customize a quick last name, so you cut it out with your magic vinyl, and you're going to place that on the back of your shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the front, which is going to tell the wizard which part of the design is going to go on the front. The one that's not selected is going to go on the back of the t-shirt. Now we do have a lot of questions coming in, so I'm going to have Dan answer some of these for you guys. Shelly said, is there a hard copy that can be accessed for tutorials? And like I said, Shelly, we are working on something like that right now with a cheat sheet that's going to allow you to be able to kind of look at the cheat sheet while you're working instead of actually doing the tutorials. And then we have Mike said, does the wizard have, or maybe a suggestion, have a reset button to reset the counts quickly instead of manually? And now what do you mean, now what count for which, for what, Mike? Go, just refresh my memory there. And then where's the size showing on the screen? The size of the design is up here, Debbie. So if you notice that the size of the design will tell you 8.8 is the full size of that design. So if I click on my Marredo, it's 9.8, so that's 9.8 inches wide. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and select my design again. We're going to go, this time we're going to go shirt, and we're going to do proof front and back. So now I'm going to create a proof mock-up. So it's going to give you the front of the shirt, it's going to give you the back of the shirt, and it's also going to give you the documentation at the bottom for your customer to sign, fill out, and return to you. So let's go ahead and select let's go ahead and do V-neck for this one. So again, I'm going to go change my description here. So we'll do TRW, baseball, mom, custom. We can add simulate stones, and I'm going to add stone detail to the design as well. And now notice, Gia, I'm not going to add the watermark yet, because if I do want to change the color of the shirt, it's going to be a lot easier to work with without adding the watermark. And here you can also, one thing I want to show you guys before I do the mock-up, if you hit your edit tab tool here, you actually can customize your different kind of your different watermarks and logos. So you can actually set up a few different ones. So let's just say you want to do one just the TRW logo, or if you want to create one for a customer, and you can just do a copyright like we have here, and basically that's going to give you a watermark that says copyright. Your logo won't be on there. So if you're creating a design for somebody else, that's where you would use the copyright for. All right, and then we have, Mike said, like on the place and fill tab, when you set the contour spacing, decrease count by, and all right, if you wanted to zero those quickly. Yeah, if you want to just zero those quickly, if you just close down your wizard, and bring it back up, it closes it out for you. I just did it manually just so you guys can see that you can actually manually change all the settings as well. But yeah, as long as you don't actually save the settings to it, so let's just say I have like 5 or 6 here, and I close out my wizard and bring it back up, it basically is going to give me this, it's going to give me back to 0. Unless I hit 6 and I do my save stones wizard settings here, then it's going to always bring it up the wizard with the number 6 in the island fill. Otherwise, it's going to reset to default every time. That help there, Mike? Awesome. No problem at all. And Sharon said, how can I send templates one at a time to Cutmaster 3? And actually, Sharon, let me show you here. We have an export feature here. And the export feature, basically what it does, it allows you to export your CDR file, your EPS file, your SVG, PNG. We also have a feature here for the export AI file. And we also have some of the send to cutter features here. So as you notice, if you have the macro in Corel Draw to cut from Cutmaster, it's basically going to send your design here by doing send to cutter. It's going to send it directly to your cutting master software. So again, it's just going to bypass the whole process of exporting EPS and then importing it into your Cutmaster software. That quick send to cut button is going to allow you to just directly send it right away. That makes sense there, Sharon? Awesome, awesome. All right, so back to our mockup feature. Let's go ahead and create our 2-color mockup. And now notice how because I deleted I closed out the Corel, the wizard, I now have to redo everything I did with the settings here, and that's because it sets it right back to default. So I'm going to go TRW, baseball mom, custom. We'll do simulate stones and add stone detail. So now I'm going to do a single shirt only, which I don't want that. Let's go ahead and do proof front and back. And let's go ahead and just select our scoop next. So again, it's going to run through the whole design. It's going to count the colors. It's going to count the amount of stones it has in each design. It's going to place the last name on the back of the shirt, and it's going to place the design on the front of the shirt. So now let's go ahead and change the color to this one to, let's just maybe change it to a gray or blue. So now you have our baseball mom design here. It tells you the amount of stones it has, the size of the design, and if you look down here, it also gives you the stone count. So you have 813 crystal stones, you have 409 light topaz, and then you have 162 red cyan. And then on the back of the design, it gives you the Marrero 7, so you can change the color of that. And Sean, all I did to change the color, basically I clicked on the actual shirt, and I just went down here and changed the color. So I just clicked on the shirt, and you're able to change the color of the shirt to whatever you want it to be. So very simple, very easy. You also get your description at the top. You have your Rhinestone World logo, and now this design is ready. So all you have to do is highlight, hit your watermark right here, and that's going to add your watermark to protect your design. So now if you zoom in, you have the rhinestoneworld.com watermark in there, and you can change the transparency by changing the number up here. So the lower you go, it's going to come out a lot darker. All right, so Shelly says, also, do you have to set up your cutter in the software so when you hit send to cutter, it goes to your cutter? Example, I have roll in GX24, will go directly to my cutter. As long as you have that macro in here, Shelly, it will send it directly to your cutter. If you have any questions on that, just give us the guys at the call center a call, and they'll be more than happy to assist you with that, all right? All right, so another cool thing is now you have your proof sheet down here. So the proof sheet, which is completely up to you to edit the settings in here. So notice right here we have images not in color, or in colors are not an exact representation. If you highlight that, let me go here. So you can actually change the settings on here. Let me ungroup it, and then we're able to actually change the settings in there. And we also have a feature a video that kind of lets you go into your settings tab and change all this around, so you can actually always have it set to your business kind of plan and kind of what's going to benefit your business a lot more. Because we obviously know that maybe we use a settings for it and some policies for it, where you guys are going to be able to go in there and set your own policies and your own kind of turnaround time, and all the artwork approval and all that can be up to you what your business plan is like. All right, and it says, Sharon says, my mockup does not have the back of shirts and the approval feature. How can I get this feature? Now, what version of the wizard do you have, Sharon? It might just be an older version of the wizard, so let me know, and I can help you out with that, all right? And then I have a question. Does the software work with the GCC cutter? Again, this is not a standalone software, but because we do have the export feature here sent to cutter, uh, the GCC software does have an option of a macro for your Corel Draw. So yes, it will work with gray cuts. You see here, gray cuts, and then you can send it to your cutter from there. All right, and Sharon says the 2.8 that I recently purchased. Okay, Sharon, if you go to your mockup feature and where it says mockup with product, do you have that drop-down menu here? Now this drop-down is going to give you all the different options. So you have the proof, you have the single shirt only, you have the single shirt front and back. So that's where you would find all the different ones. And you might not just see them, but you do have to scroll down and then you'll see the rest of the options down there. But again, this is basically just going to give you all of the different options here. So you got your price quote, quantity, design name, shirt color, all that good stuff that's basically going to document this design. So now you'll be able to send this design to your customer with a realistic look to it. And of course, we have some TRW fun little things in there as well, like the magic bling. So if I hold shift, it just gives it a cool little bling star to it just to make it pop so they know exactly that we're working with rhinestones. And yeah, you can just add it to any section of the page of the design. So you can just kind of, another cool little feature just to make, that design pop a lot more. And now once you're ready, once you create your mockup, you go to your export feature here, and then you can just export the PNG JPEG file ready to send to your customer, and they can approve on it, or if they don't like the design, they can go ahead and decline it. So once they approve it, then you're able to go back to your page 1, which is your page 2, where's my designs at, and you can simply go to your templates, create templates, and then cut your design from there. So basically, that mockup feature is really going to save you some time and money, because you can send them a proof of the design prior to them actually agreeing on it, and you're able to, before you even cut any materials out, they can actually see what the design's going to look like. So real cool little feature, and actually we have a lot of customers that basically buy the wizard just for that mockup feature because it is so great. We have screen printers, embroidery guys in embroideries, heat transfer vinyl, sign vinyl. They all use this mockup feature for their businesses. All right, so I'll go ahead and delete that. All right, so it looks like we're almost out of time here. I do want to ask if anybody has any other questions for us. I know it's an hour is not quite enough to kind of go over the whole software, but I hope you guys got a little bit of knowledge in what we do with the software and how the software can kind of benefit your business plan. Okay, so we do have some questions here. We have, how did you make the bling small? Mine are huge. Yeah, Tammy, all you have to do for that one is if you hold shift. So let me show you this. So if you go back to your mockups, and then we got our magic bling here. If you actually, let me go ahead and here, make this black for you so you can actually see it. All right, so if you hit magic bling, if you just click on it, it's going to give you the bigger one. If you hold shift, it's going to give you a smaller one. You see that? So shift is going to allow you to give you the smaller magic bling. That's going to allow you to put it on when it's actually on the mockup on the shirt. If you just have the black background, then you just want to do the normal, hit the magic bling, and it's going to give you the larger bling bling star there. And we do actually, if you don't have the wizard, we actually do have the free file for the magic bling as well. So you guys can actually just go on the website and download that for free. All right, let's see here. Why did you make a green? Exported mockups always change colors. Why? Now, Elaine, what kind of what are you using when you're using your exported mockup? Which file type are you selecting? And yes, Sean, this is recorded today. Yes. What's your email address? You can hey, Melissa, just shoot us at info@therinestoneworld.com and we'll help you out, all right? All right, will this seminar be available as a video afterwards? Yes, Lisa, it will be recorded. Okay, Shelly says, if you're wearing the shirt with TRW Design ISS, you can get a goodie bag. What about those of us that plan on purchasing it at the show? Be eligible? Okay. Well, Shelly, actually, how it works, if you purchase, you can actually purchase, or if you're making a purchase, you can actually add on the transfer. So what we basically do is we created these Bling Diva transfers, and we'll send it out to you. So if you're actually just, all you would have to do, if you're not purchasing something on the website, you would just have to pay for shipping. But basically, it's just a free little transfer for you to press onto your shirt, and if we see you wearing them, or if you come to our booth and you're wearing the Bling Diva shirt, we'll go ahead and give you guys a little goodie bag. So that's how the goodie bags work for that. And Sandra said, does the software ever go on special? Right now, when we usually do the update is usually when we have a special price for it. Otherwise, it's basically going to stay at that $279 until we upgrade it, or excuse me, update it.
to the 3.0. Now I did want to make a quick design for you guys before you guys go. So, and in honor of September 11th. Now before I do that though, I do want to make a couple announcements. We do have another webinar tomorrow. We're actually going to be starting our TRW lounge, which is basically a free-for-all where we're going to be sitting there. We're not going to go we're not going to show you how to do anything in the software. Cutters, basically we're going to have a couple guys sitting there, kind of a lounge style area, and we're going to let you guys ask us as many questions as you can, and we're going to answer those questions for you within that hour span. So kind of cool concept. It's kind of, we're going to be able to interact with you guys in real life time and answer all your questions. And that'll be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Also, for everybody in the Fort Worth area, we're also going to be attending the ISS show. If you guys weren't here earlier, I did mention we were at booth 433. We're going to do some awesome in-booth training. Matt's going to go over the wizard, the cutting process, weeding process, and it's all going to be free for you guys as long as you guys are attending the show. So come by. We have a cool little schedule on our Facebook page. We also sent out an email yesterday with the schedule as well on there. So if anything kind of capture your attention, make sure to stop by our booth 433 for those as well. So real quick design I want to make for you guys so you guys can go ahead and take home a little freebie for attending today. So I want to just make a cool USA with an outline of rhinestones. So let's go ahead and do USA. And I know if I'm running a little bit out of time or I'm running a little bit over, if you guys mind, feel free. You're not going to hurt my feeling if you guys leave this at this time, all right? All right, so I'm just going to create a USA design with my impact, and I will make this a little bit smaller here. And then I'm going to go to my wizard tab. I'm going to go to my edit tab. I'm just going to change spacing just a tad bit here. Just a little bit bigger here. All right. I'm going to just select text spacing again. So we have our 9.05. Let's go back to my place and fill. Oh, sorry, Sandra. And Sandra said, do you ever come to South Carolina with a show? Right now, Sandra, we don't have it planned to go to South Carolina. There's no shows in that area right now. Now, we are going to be in Charlotte next week, though. North Carolina, Charlotte. So I'm not sure how far you are from there. So if you are in the area, make sure to stop by. I believe that's going to be early November. We're going to be up in Charlotte. So, and if you have any questions on that, we have the schedule list on the website as well for all of our shows. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and create a border. I'm just going to create an outline for this one. Let's do 0.07 to the outside, and we're just going to place the stones there. Oh, actually, you know what? Before that, let's go ahead and select my corner detect. All right, so now that detected all the corners, made it a lot cleaner. I'm going to go here, get rid of my outlines. And now, remember you guys were asking earlier how to do the merge overlaps? I'm going to go ahead and select my design again. But now, because I have vinyl in here, what you actually need to do, change the color of the inside here. I'm just going to select all my stones. So that's what I want to merge all together. So now all the stones that we're touching previously are now all together. Maybe move this one just a tad bit to the left there. There we go. All right. Beautiful. So now we got that inside done. Let's go ahead and fix this up just a tad bit here. And now one cool feature we have is that magic respace, which I want to show you now, which is one of the reasons I wanted to do this part of the webinar. So I'm going to select all these stones here, and if I hit my magic respace, it just basically respaces all those stones proportionate. So now the spacing between all these are perfect. So again, it makes the design look a lot nicer. Yes, Elaine, and when you merge them together, it just converts, it just kind of places both those stones and merges those together into one. All right, so again, we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to kind of spread this one out just a little bit more, and if you select all your stones, and all I'm doing is holding shift and clicking on my stones here. So I'm just going to do respace, and there you go. Now you got spacing between all those, and we're ready to work on this design. Let's go ahead and I don't like the way that looks there, so let's delete that, and there it is. So now we have our USA with our rhinestones on the outside, and we see a little area right here as well. So, and another thing you can do, instead of selecting each one, you can actually draw a path. So if you use your B-spline tool and you kind of draw a line going through all the stones, it's going to actually allow you to do the magic respace as well. But let's just go ahead and respace a couple of these here, just to make it look real nice. And what do we do here? And notice that we do occasionally mess up as well. So in that case, just go right back to your Corel. Don't be afraid. It happens to the best of us. So see that? Just bring it back up.
hopefully your USA design is still in there. Nope. All right, which is fine. We'll go ahead and recreate that because it doesn't take too long. And that's one of the great things you guys will notice about our webinars. Even when we mess up or our videos, even when we mess up, we don't kind of hide away from it. We let you guys know just because it is human nature to mess up. And, you know, if to say that we were perfect and everything that we did came out perfect would be kind of lying to you guys. So if anything does happen, just don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Just go right back to where you were and start working on that design again. So let's go back to let's go where we have it, 9.0. We're going to go edit, text spacing, just a little bit more. All right. We're going to go place and fill, one island to the outside, do 0.07, and we're going to do corner detect. All right. So there it is, same design, highlight, clear paths, and then we're going to do our merge overlap. So I'm just going to select here, select, and I'm just going to do my merge overlap. We're just going to select, get those all together there, and just fix it up just a tad bit here. Beautiful. Actually, this actually came out a little nicer too, so we're going to be able to work with this one. See that? All right, cool. So now one thing you can do, what do you guys want to do? You guys want to do the stones, just kind of make it red, white, and blue for the stones? So we can do red, we can do white here, we'll just do in the middle some white, and then we'll finish the bottom part, we'll do blue. So we'll just go here, we'll go cobalt, and then we have our cool design created here for you guys. So what I can do is I can create my magic templates. So you have your 3 colors here, and then you have your USA. Now there's one thing you guys have to do with the USA part. Do you guys know what that is? Exactly. So it looks like Rob there noticed it. Yep. So you have to just once you actually cut this design out, you actually have to mirror the USA part out. Now if you buy a multi-deck design from us, that actual vinyl part of it won't be mirrored. So you just got to remember to mirror it before you cut that design out. So what I'll do for you guys is I'll go ahead and list this for free, just because you guys joined the webinar and it is September 11th. So I'll go ahead and make this design free on the website for you guys. All right. Does anybody have any other questions for us? Again, thank you so much for everybody who participated. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to come in. Hey, Roger, what's going on, man? I didn't even know you were in here. So thank you so much for coming to my webinar today. Unfortunately, Matt wasn't able to do the webinar, but he is creating some awesome videos for the 2.09 upgrade. So I know you guys are going to get excited about that. And like I said, release date should be Monday. So be on the lookout for that, guys. All right. Beautiful. All right, guys. So we're all done here today. So you guys have a great day. And again, if you guys have any questions at all, give us a call at the office, 941-755-1696. Or you can shoot us an email, info@rhinestoneworld.com. Again, if you haven't downloaded the new app yet, make sure you do so. It's a very, very quick, cool tool that we have now. The app is going to allow you to view all of our webinars, TRW TV. You're going to be able to shop on there, get some of the cool tips. We're also working on the TRW lab where we're testing out different materials and, just kind of going crazy with that and seeing what we're able to press Rhinestones vinyl to, and just kind of testing them out and letting you guys know how the final outcome. And, we'll do a follow-up video showing if it worked or if it didn't work. So another cool little thing that we've started. We also got the tip of the day, and also we did release our brand new group yesterday, Crafting with Rhinestones and Vinyl, which is our own TRW group. Basically, you guys can go in there, share ideas, tips. If you guys want to give away some of your designs, you can go do it on there. We don't want anybody to go in there and kind of do sale pitches. It's more of a kind of educational group for you guys and for your businesses to kind of benefit you guys. So make sure to go ahead and join that. We'll also be doing, if we reach 100 comments, I don't know if we already did that or not. I haven't checked today. But we're also going to do a free font giveaway if you guys reach 100 comments on our group page underneath Matt's post from yesterday. So make sure you guys go on there, join, comment, so you guys can get that free TrueType font. And the name, Shelly, is Crafting with Rhinestones and Vinyl, which we have a link on our Facebook page as well to it. So if you can't find it, go to our Facebook page and we'll be more than happy to assist you. All right. So again, thank you so much for participating today. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. My name is Rudy. Have a great day, everybody. Oh, and by the way, we have Dan on the other side answering all the questions as well. Don't forget about Doc Brown. Have a great day, everybody.